Hello everyone, Barb here from barbaderholt.closetomyheart.com. This is going to be another one of those sort of disjointed videos. I am working on some photos, doing some memory keeping. These photos have been floating around my craft room, a bin, another bin. And as I have been going through some things and being a little ruthless with my discards, I stumbled upon these photos yet again. They are photos of a trip that my son and I took, spring break 2014. So we are closing in on 7 years ago. And I printed these photos probably 6 or 7 years ago. They're not the greatest quality photos, but they do help me to remember that I indeed took my son and we went over to the Mall of America, which is in Bloomington, Minnesota. It's just a few hours for us to drive over there, and that has been a fun place that we would go with all of the kids. This year, though, in 2014, my older two sons were in 2 different colleges, and we had no common spring break week. Everybody had a different week for spring break. So it was just Noah and I, and we rode the rides, and I thought we should go downstairs and check out the aquarium. We had not done that in a long time. It had been at least 5 years, maybe more than that. So it was a fun thing to do. And I thought it would be a good opportunity to show you my process of how I tackle this project. There aren't a ton of photos. I have enough for a title page and then 3 2-page spreads. So I want to show you what I do first. So here's the title page. I did get that done. First thing I do is I sort my photos. I go through and gather the photos together in piles so that I know what I want to try to put on a page layout. Sorry for the gap there. Sometimes the words just don't come to my brain fast. The second thing I do is I grab my Make It From the Heart books. This one happens to be volume 2. This one is volume 3. I used the volume 2 to help me come up with my title page. So you can see here, this layout is like this page. If I can get it a little closer. You can see the similarity there. And you can do that with these books, any of the books. You can take any of these double pages and use one of the pages as your title page. The next thing I did is, after I had gone through and figured out how many photos I was going to try to put on a particular layout, I started going through this book, which is the Make It From Your Heart Volume 3. It has a lot of scrapbook layouts. And I knew that I had a particular paper pack to use. This was part of a Bring Back My Pack series that Close to My Heart has been offering, where they will update the colors in a paper pack from days gone by and bring back that pack for a month. I don't think it's more than a month, maybe 2 months. So I went through, and I think this is the one that I decided for here, and I cut up the paper pack, cut my pieces, picked my background pages. I have the photos that I intend to put on here, and then I make a note. And you can see here it says Pattern 29, pages 62, 63, Make It From the Heart, Volume 3. So that if I have to set this aside for a while, I know where to go to find the page. I also took a Post-it note and just flagged the page so that I know that this is part of a project I have going on. This is how I handle any big scrapbook projects. If I do scrapbooks for a football team, for football seniors, I do the same thing. So here you can see, Make It From the Heart, Make it from your heart. I always say the heart. It is your heart. Volume 3, Pattern 18, pages 40 and 41. Again, I can set this aside if I don't have time to do it right away. And I have some notes here to keep it straight so that I know where to go to look for the actual layout so that I can put the pages together with a lot more ease. And that's it. That's what I do. I will get these pages put together and I will show you what they look like when they're done. Here I am, back with the page layouts that I put together. I think those turned out nice. I am happy with those. But I have this title page that I created, and I want this to be a part of this. So what I'm going to do is create a hinge, and I just took a piece of 12 by 6 paper, so it's 12 inches long, 6 inches wide, and I scored it then at 3 inches on that 6-inch side. And I am going to glue this to the back of this, the left-hand side. In my mind, this works. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of this. Creating a bit of a flip-flap without using a flip-flap. I'm going to attach that to the back like that, and then I'm going to fold it down, add some glue to the front part of this flap, and put this title page on top of it. Apologize for my head. Sometimes you gotta look. You gotta get your head over it. Okay. Now what this did was created a big flip. Then I also created a page where I can write the story, where I can talk about why we took this trip when we did and why only Noah and I were on the trip and all of the things. It's a little more of a story than what will fit in the little journaling spots on the pages, and I wanted to give it a nice place to live. So this page will get slipped into the page protector. So okay. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And that looks just like that. So it'll, in the book, it'll be laying like that. And then you lift this up and you'll see that that page is there. And this goes here. So you can see how that's all going to play. And what I'm going to do is slip this into a page protector. Hopefully I can get this going without it getting hung up. Rattle, rattle. Like I said, in my mind, this works. page protector slipped on there, but of course I don't want this hanging off of here. So I'm going to take some scissors. And yes, I am going to cut my page protector. And I'm just going to trim off the part of the page protector that goes into your book. We don't need that. I can see here this bent up a little bit, and then I can tuck that down. And that's it. Oh, we got another one here. Look at that. The trick to doing that, slipping something on, is to just take a flat piece of cardstock and lay it over the top, and then you can slide your page protector over the top of your layout, and all of the little bits don't get hung up. I was just too lazy to grab a piece of paper. So here we go. I created my big flip where I'll be able to tell my story. This page is created with just scraps, leftover bits of this paper pack. It's a great way to use up. These don't run all the way over. They're just maybe that wide. And I just tucked them under a big piece of, I think this is espresso cardstock. And then I used espresso ink, and this is a Story by Stacy stamp, which I love the Story by Stacy. They really give you some nice prompts. And then here we go. Then this goes like this. And I think that the colors work well together. I took a little time and wrote up my story so that I can add it right away. So I am not revisiting this in 5 years, trying to remember what this was about. And I thought it would be nice to add a little bit of color to this. I just typed this up on my computer, printed it out, and now I'm adding a little bit of color because the background paper that I'm using has a bit of a creamy, ivory, French vanilla-y look to it, and this stark white paper I thought was just a little too jarring. So I got some glacier ink and an ink blender, and I am adding a little bit of color to this. You can still read it just fine, but it just takes it from being a white piece of paper to being a little pretty color paper. So here we are. Here's the front flap. I also added this little, this is a thin cut that we have, and I just cut it out. It's a circle. So then on the back side I just folded it over, and I am going to take this and I am going to pop it in right there. Not sure how, but I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna just put a little bit of glue on here, just a hint. It will stay in place. So, wish me luck. Lift up the page protector and slide this up. And I'm going to go right up to the title. And there we go. So here you can see this big flip I made with the story completed. And then the pages. They're bright and cheery. And that's it. This project is complete. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time.